Hi ladies, and welcome back to my channel. I know it all looks a bit different. I'm here sitting in pyjamas and I've got a cup of herbal tea here. I've got a bowl of popcorn here because tonight is all about Naomi's midnight musings. This is a new, a new series on my channel where we're going to be talking about anything that you want to talk about, whether it's relationship breakups, whether it's you've got diet issues, you need help with that, whether you need guidance on getting a new job. It could be anything to do with life, literally anything. You could have a new baby and you're suffering from sleepless nights. You could have been single for years and you want to know how to get back into the dating game. Everything that you want to talk about, we're going to talk about during Naomi's midnight musings. Tonight's episode is called The Breakup Recovery Soiree, where we're going to be healing hearts and renewing spirits. So again, welcome to Naomi's midnight musings, and I'm so happy that you can join me for this virtual sleepover. I'm so excited because it's something different, something new, and I've always wanted to try this, and I thought, you know what? Let's just start it today. Because all of us need that sisterhood, that girl time where we can just sit back, chat, and just let it all out on the table. So what I want you to do is grab your favourite blanket, go and get a cup of tea, go and get a matcha, go and get a green tea, whatever it is that you drink, go and get it now. Go and get your popcorn, your cookies, your favourite snack, because this video is going to be a long one. I can feel it already. So as I mentioned before, tonight's going to be a heart-to-heart where we talk about something that we've all been through, and that's breakups. Breakups is something that all of us have been through, and it's not a nice feeling, but it happens. It happens to the best. Well, it happens to every single person in this world. Every single person will go through a breakup, and going through a breakup is one of the worst feelings in life. It's like your heart's being wrenched out of your chest. I know it, I've been there. But today, it's time to have that heart-to-heart where we let it all out and get over it. So today, we're going to be diving into the topic of breakup recovery. We're going to be talking about how to nurture ourselves, how to heal our hearts, and rediscover our inner strength. What you need to remember is that healing is a journey and not a destination. So let's take the path together. The thing is, healing is different for everybody. What you have to do when you've gone through a breakup is think about what healing style is best for you, because everybody's different. So let me share a little story with you. About just over a year ago, I was set to get married. I planned my wedding. I had my wedding dress. I had my bridesmaid wedding dresses. I had the venue booked. I was booking people to do the flowers. I was liaising with a violinist who was going to play at the wedding. I had all my songs picked, my first dance song picked. Like literally, I was planning a wedding. I was so excited to get married. But that relationship come to an abrupt end, and at the time, I was heartbroken, I'm not going to lie. I remember spending nights crying into my pillow. Like seriously, I was broken, because imagine, like, I literally planned my whole wedding. I thought like that's it, this is it, I'm gonna be a wife. But it didn't go through. While going through the whole like heartbreak and everything, and you know, the pain that I was going through, I thought to myself, will I ever like get over this pain? Because when you're going through it, you can't even, you know, it's like you can't fathom getting over that pain. It's like you feel like it's gonna last forever. But you know what, them tearful nights taught me something really precious, and it was the importance of self-love during healing. One particular night, I remember thinking to myself, you know what, I'm going to treat myself how I treat one of my best friends. So you know what I did? I ran a shower, I lit candles, and I read my favourite book. And that in itself for me was like an act of self-love. I had to kind of remind myself who I was and what I was about, and who I was as an individual. Like I said, it was a small act, but it marked the beginning of my healing journey. And I know you might be thinking, Naomi, well, it was just a hot shower with candles and a book. But that kind of put things back into perspective for me. It was like a massive moment for me. When you're going through so much pain and you've kind of not forgotten about yourself, but all that's on your mind constantly is the breakup, the person, thinking about memories, this, that and the other, it's easy to kind of let yourself go. So me doing that was a massive move forward for me. And that night, I realised that the most important relationship is the one that I have with myself. And from since then, practicing self-love is number one for me. I come first, always. And I know that it might sound selfish, but sometimes that is just the way it has to be. And it's not a bad thing. You have to put yourself first. And the relationship that you have with yourself is very important. And a lot of us women, we lose ourselves in relationships because we've been taught that, you know, you've got to look after your man, you've got to be submissive to your man, you've got to do this for your man, you've got to do that for your man, you've got to be perfect for your man. And we kind of forget about ourselves a lot. And that's me talking as a single woman without children. So I don't know what it's like for people that have children, where you've got to put your kids first and you've got a man to put first, and then you end up putting yourself last. And no, you have to always put yourself first to be the best that you can for you, and then it kind of has a domino effect on the rest of your life. And what I must say is that at my age, I've been through a few breakups, and what I can say is that all the breakups that I've had have affected me differently, like in different ways. Obviously all relationships are different, so you'd expect each breakup to affect you differently as well, and it's exactly like that. Well, that's how it's been for me anyway. All relationships differ, so the way it affects you also differs. I remember when I was younger, my first ever boyfriend, and I can say that my heart felt like it had been broken into a million pieces. I don't think I've ever hurt as much again in a relationship. And I feel like because in your first relationship, you're kind of going in there with no experience, with a sense of innocence, like you just put your whole self into it without having any sort of boundaries, without protecting yourself, because you've never done it before. So I can say that for most of us, our first relationship is probably the relationship that we've been the most vulnerable in, where that person, even though we're young, but that person's got the raw us. Like there's no one's hurt us before, so we're not guarding our heart. Just think about it like you're going in there just open-hearted. You've got nothing you've got no reason to protect your heart because you've never been heartbroken before. So for me, my first relationship breakup, it hit hard. And like they say, the first cut is the deepest, and for me, the first cut was definitely the deepest. And even though the relationship was just like it was young love, it's like there's I don't feel like I've ever felt that way. Have I? Have I felt that way again? I probably have, but I think the rawness of that young love is totally different to anything I've experienced again. So now it's time to move on to the question and answer session, where a few of you have sent me questions and I'm going to answer them. I'm going to be like your personal, virtual agony aunt. So let's get on with the questions. So someone called Sarah has contacted me and asked me, how do I stop obsessing over my ex's social media? So Sarah, that's a great question, because I know so many people who literally obsess over their ex's social media. And have I done that in the past? I don't think. Yeah, I have actually. I've even obsessed over their new girlfriend's Instagram as well. And I'm sure a lot of us have been there. But let me answer. So Sarah, it's so tempting to keep tabs on your ex's social media, but that's probably one of the worst things to do. And the reason why I say it's probably one of the worst things to do is because it prolongs the pain. My advice, I'd say take a social media detox. Either unfollow him or mute the social media platforms that you follow him on. And what I'd say is use this time to focus on yourself. Self-love is key, especially when you're healing. So if you use this time to focus on yourself, it will actually speed up the healing process. By just obsessing and looking at his profile, you're going to just hurt yourself in the long run. And you don't want to end up seeing his new girlfriend if he has one, because that alone will hurt you and it could just make you spiral in your own journey. So just focus on moving forward with your own life. That's all you can do. Stop obsessing and just focus on self-growth, self-development, self-love, self-care. That's all I can say. Stop obsessing over him. There are plenty more fish in the sea. I'm not saying that in a way to say that, oh, just get over it, there's so many other men, because I know that when you go through that breakup and you fall in love with that person, There's no one out there that looks better or you want to be with. The best looking guy could come up to you and want to wine and dine you and treat you like a queen. It's like, you just can't see past the ex. I've been there where some decent guys have come to me after a breakup. They probably would treat me much better, but I'm so obsessed or in love with my ex, like, they don't even stand the chance. I don't give them the chance, and you don't want to do that because you can miss out on some really good people. So just focus on you. So I've got another question from someone called Jojo. Jojo has asked, is it normal to feel relieved after a breakup? And that is a brilliant question, because it is normal. That is normal, especially if you was in a toxic relationship. The thing is, relationships can be draining if they're not the right relationship. I've been there and I've done that. Sometimes you're in a relationship because you have an emotional attachment to each other. So because of that emotional attachment, as much as the relationship is draining you, because you have that attachment to them, you find it hard to come away from them. So when the relationship does end for whatever reason it is, it's like a massive sigh of relief. It's like, oh my gosh, like, it feels good to be out of that situation. As much as I miss them, because you will miss them, you will miss people, because if you've been with someone for 5 years or something and you've seen them every day or you used to live with them, then it's going to be normal to feel like a sense of loss. But at the same time, it can be a relief to break away from a situation that was toxic. So I'd say no, it's not wrong for feeling that way at all. Remember, when you're in a relationship, in some of the most toxic relationships, people are still being intimate, they probably share a home. So a lot of the time it's just that it's hard to get away from that attachment, or detach, should I say. So once that is done, which for a lot of people can be like a massive hurdle, once it's done, for them, it can just be like, yeah, oh my gosh, I did it. Like, I'm out of that situation. Because I've wanted to be out of it for a long, long time, but just because of certain attachments, it just made it harder. It doesn't mean that you can't be happy that it's over. So we're going to move on to a section of the video that I've called the Comfort Corner, where we're going to take part in a self-care activity together. The activity today is release and renew. So what I want you to do is grab a notepad. I should have told you this at the beginning actually, but if you can, go and pause this video and grab yourself a notepad. So now, I hope you've grabbed your pad and your pen. I've got to say to get a pen, but hopefully you use common sense and got a pen as well. So what we're going to do now is write down any niggling, negative thoughts that we currently have about our ex. And we're going to write them down. So if you've got any negative thoughts that keep on playing over in your head about your ex, because I used to have that really badly. I used to start thinking really negative things about him all the time, literally on a daily basis. I used to like play out conversations in my head and things that I wanted to say to him that I didn't get to say. So what we're going to do here, we're going to write down the niggling, negative things that you think about your ex. So write them down now. And what you write as well can be any negative thoughts that you had about the actual relationship too. Anything to do with your actual ex, the person, or anything to do with the actual relationship. Just write them down. So I've managed to write down 4 things. So what we're going to do next is we're going to tear back the piece of paper. So I've got my piece of paper there. We're going to take a deep breath. So I want you to take a deep breath. And I'm going to rip the paper up, rip it up into loads of little pieces, as small as you can. So the reason we did this act is because this act helps us to acknowledge our feelings and then also let them go. Because I found that I used to have all these feelings in me. Some of these feelings you want to kind of keep to yourself. You don't want to go talk to somebody about it. So the best thing that you can do is do what we just done, is to write them all down and just tear them up. And you can burn them, you can just throw them in the bin, you can do whatever you want with them, but it's meant to be just a way to kind of release any feelings that you have inside, just get them out. Because remember, what you're trying to do is create a space for your new positive experiences. You need to get out with the old and in with the new. That's what it's all about. Releasing the feelings and moving forward. So next up, what we're going to do, get another piece of popcorn. We're going to do the pillow talk challenge. So this is a challenge that I'm going to set for you guys to do for this week. And what the challenge is, it is the self-love date night. So I challenge you to plan an evening dedicated entirely to yourself. What you can do is cook yourself your favourite meal, watch that movie that you've been wanting to watch for a long time, or even try out a new hobby. The key is to treat yourself to the same love and attention that you'd give to a partner. So make sure when you've done it, you go back to this video and leave a comment in the comment box letting me know what it is that you did for yourself. What we're going to do now is do the good night affirmations. I feel like this is a good way to end things. So as we wrap up this cozy, lovely night, let's do these self-love affirmations. So repeat after me. I am worthy of love and respect. My heart is healing and I grow stronger every day. I choose to focus on my own happiness and growth. I am excited about this new chapter unfolding in my life. So I hope that you write those affirmations down and practice them every morning and every night as you go on this journey of healing, growth and self-love. What you'll learn is on this journey is that once you get to a point where you love yourself and you're growing into the woman that you want to be and you're on the path of life that you want to be, that you will start to love your own company. Like, I'm at a point where I've healed so much where I'm so happy and content with or without a partner. And it's a good feeling to have because it makes us realise that we are whole on ourselves. Like, sometimes as women, we're made to feel that without a man we're not whole, but we are. We are wholesome, we are beautiful, we are intelligent, we are lovable, and we have to remember that at all times. Remember that because society can make us feel like we're not good enough because we don't have a man and that you have to have a man to be worthy. Breakups happens to everybody, and if you are brave enough to walk away from a situation that isn't serving you, you know, kudos to you. That's a good thing because there's many people who are in relationships who are very, very unhappy. If they want to stay, that's their choice. I'm not putting them down, but just because you were brave enough to walk away, it doesn't make you less than because you're now single. Being single is a journey of growth and relearning ourselves as well, because sometimes we can lose ourselves in relationships. So enjoy the journey. But thank you for joining me for tonight's breakup, slumber, soiree. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's something different that I'm just trying out because I want to try different things and do things in different ways. And I know that us as women, sometimes we just need someone to talk to, and even myself, sometimes I just need to let out my feelings and how I'm feeling because I go through it too and I learn from you guys too. And just remember, healing takes time, so be patient and also be kind to yourself. And don't forget to please share this video, and when you do share it, hashtag it Naomi's Night In. Let's make this a movement. And don't forget to suggest new topics in the comments box below. I want to say sweet dreams, beautiful soul sisters. And until next time, I'm Naomi and this is the Diary of Naomi. Sending you all virtual hugs and healing. Mwah. Bye for now.